Bandai have really been kicking it into high gear with their promotion of BLEACH Rebirth of Souls. We've had multiple character trailers along with an all new trailer released, as in this video we're going to be talking about 4 character gameplay trailers. We've had confirmation that Hitsugaya, Kenpachi, Ulquiorra and even Bankai Ichigo are all playable as separate characters within Rebirth of Souls. So as is the case with these character gameplay breakdown videos, I'll be going through each of the characters, explaining all of the different movesets that are available for that character, and just in general sharing my thoughts about each of the new trailers that have been revealed. So without further delay, let's begin this Rebirth of Souls character gameplay breakdown by starting with the newly released trailer for Kenpachi Zaraki. So most of these character trailers begins with the Shinigami Zanpakuto and the name being revealed, but in the case of Kenpachi Zanpakuto it's inked out because obviously at this point in the story we don't know the name of Kenpachi Zanpakuto. Captain of Squad 11 and successor of the Kenpachi name, he is a powerful warrior capable of facing off against the strongest opponents. This is Kenpachi's signature move called Try to Cut Me. While holding the input, Kenpachi holds his arms outstretched in a stance and attacks when the input is released. Now the power of the released attack increases according to the amount of damage that Kenpachi receives while in his stance. Now this is perfectly in line with this berserker archetype character that is typically seen in fighting games. Again, this is taken straight out of the manga. You can see him standing here taking all of the attacks until he finally strikes back. Following this, we have spiritual pressure move 1 called Chop You Up. This involves a large downswinging slash and the attack can hit an opponent at a distance, as Kenpachi takes a large step forward during the attack. So just to see this in action, you can see Kenpachi takes a step forward and strikes with a lot of impact here. Ichigo is literally in the middle of an attack and he overpowers him and strikes him down. So it does seem like the first attack stuns Ichigo and then it can be followed up with a second attack. Now we have spiritual pressure move 2 and this is titled Nothing I Can't Cut. Kenpachi charges and slashes his opponent, and if it hits, Kenpachi follows up with a flurry of attacks. Now holding down the input will add the effect of breaking an opponent's guard. So this one's really interesting. As you're seeing on screen here, Ichigo charges towards Kenpachi about to attack, but Kenpachi attacks with a lot of force as he attacks with 1, 2 and 3 strikes. Now you know what's going to happen next with these gameplay trailers. We've got an awakening, and this is Kenpachi's awakening here where he reverses fate, and yes, you guessed it, he removes his eye patch. By removing his eye patch, Kenpachi will be able to fight with all of his strength, increasing his attack power and reishi even when attacking head on. Kenpachi's Kikon move also becomes stronger, making it easier to turn the tide of battle from a losing situation. So Kenpachi's focused very much so on offense as he overpowers Ichigo here, as his moveset is very complementary to his personality in the way that he is within the manga. So yeah, that was the character trailer for Kenpachi Zaraki. Another very interesting, unique and different player, and again, like I said, overwhelmingly offensive power with extreme resilience. And you see that very resilience in his signature move called Try to Cut Me, where he just stands there and takes all of the attacks until he has an opportunity to strike back with overwhelming force. Kenpachi does look like a very fun character to be able to play as, and he's a welcomed addition to the Rebirth of Souls roster. I do love his character and the way that he's been implemented in this game. Everything from all of the moves that he has to his signature eye patch being removed. Yeah, Kenpachi is definitely going to be a character you want to play as. I want to keep things really exciting. Next up we have Ulquiorra Schiffer, our first Arrancar character revealed for this game. The number 4 Espada who had come out of nothingness, he overwhelms the enemy with a super fast reishi recovery and the second stage of his resurrection. So there is Ulquiorra looking incredibly cool. His character model looks on point. So signature move for Ulquiorra, the first one is Sero. So this is a move that sacrifices his own reishi in order to release a powerful blast in front of him. In addition to increasing combo damage, it can be used in a wide range of ways, such as covering gaps in attacks and destroying opponents' counterattacks. As you can see, his Sero is an overwhelming blast which overpowers his opponent. From the examples that have been shown, this Sero can be fired in the air as well as on the ground. Next, we have Spiritual Pressure Move 1 Instant Regeneration. This is a move that gradually restores Ulquiorra's Reishi over time. Now, this ability can be accelerated by holding down the input button. You can see with the instant regeneration, it's like Ulquiorra is casting a healing spell on himself, where he uses the instant regeneration and restores his Reishi. You see these particle effects swirling all around him. Now we have Ulquiorra's Awakening, which of course is his Resurrection Murcielago. Ulquiorra's performance is enhanced in his Awakening by releasing Murcielago, and the amount of spiritual power that Ulquiorra acquires is dramatically increased in this form, thus making it easier to take advantage of his spiritual pressure move. So Ulquiorra's speed increases dramatically, and there you have his Sero that he fires in the air. And then following this, we have the thing that I'm really excited about with this character, and it's his Reawakening as Ulquiorra activates Segunda Etapa. In his Reawakening, he uses Lanza del Relampago, and yeah, this is incredibly cool. Ulquiorra has a powerful signature move that hunts down opponents at the expense of the player's own Reishi. Now, because Ulquiorra's moveset relies so heavily upon Reishi, he has that Spiritual Pressure Move 1 Instant Regeneration, which gradually restores his Reishi over time. This is critical for his abilities and moves to function properly within this game, and it's clear that the developers of Rebirth of Souls have really thought things through in terms of each character, how their abilities function, and what specific techniques and abilities need to be added into their moveset in order for that particular character to flourish amongst the roster of Rebirth of Souls characters. I mean, you've seen all of the characters that we've talked about so far. No character plays alike. Ulquiorra is certainly one of the most different characters that I've spoken about, despite him also wielding a Zanpakuto, and this is what I absolutely love about this game. It's translating everything over from the Bleach manga, and it's doing it in a very faithful manner. Ulquiorra is one of my favorite villains in Bleach, and I'm really happy that he's available for Rebirth of Souls. And I absolutely cannot wait to play as his Segunda Etapa form. Next, we have the captain of Squad 10, Toshiro Hitsugaya. He of course wields his Zanpakuto Hyorinmaru, so captain of Squad 10, who became the youngest captain in history thanks to his unrivaled Ice Zanpakuto, which allows him to take the initiative in battle. This is pretty cool. We have Tenso Jurin gauge. Now, when the gauge is built up, the player enters the Tenso Jurin state, which greatly enhances specific techniques. The gauge decreases if Hitsugaya does not land an attack or is hit by an opponent's attack. Tenso Jurin is one of the basic powers of Hitsugaya Zanpakuto, while also being one of its strongest. It allows Hitsugaya to control the weather in his surroundings, and if you want to be more specific, like it's explained in chapter 359, it allows him to control the moisture in the atmosphere. Tenso Jurin can be used in both Hitsugaya's Shikai and Bankai form. When he uses it against Haribel, he admits that this power has not been fully matured, so he prefers not to use it in his Bankai mode, out of fear that he would not be able to control it, and he may end up killing everyone around him. As you can see, with the Tenso Jurin state, Hitsugaya is able to immediately freeze his opponent with this attack, and it seems like his character gets a huge buff when the Tenso Jurin is activated. Now we move on to Spiritual Pressure Move 1, which is Soten Hyogeki. This is an instant attack that can be used at long range. Soten Hyogeki allows Hitsugaya to rain down ice blocks on an opponent, creating additional openings for attack. So you can see Hitsugaya drops the ice block and it gives him an opening to land another attack against his opponent. Spiritual Pressure Move 2 is titled Hyoryu Renbu. Hyoryu Renbu is a rush attack which has excellent range and speed, thus making it easier for Hitsugaya to hit an opponent between their actions. So Hitsugaya uses this attack here with destructive force. He rushes Gin and is able to charge in and get really close to him. We now cut to Hitsugaya's Awakening, which of course is his Bankai. His Bankai looks absolutely incredible in this game, so his Bankai Daiguren Hyorinmaru allows Hitsugaya's abilities to be more enhanced. This also increases his Tenso Juren gauge, as Hitsugaya can overpower his opponents to an even greater degree while in his Bankai form. So you can see the iced-like wings on Hitsugaya's back along with Hyorinmaru's tail as he strikes Gin down with these powerful Bankai attacks. And yeah, for a second there I thought we saw Hitsugaya's adult form. This Bankai transformation looks incredible in Rebirth of Souls. Hitsugaya is described as having a strong sense of initiative in battle, and he has a variety of abilities at his disposal, as well as counters against his opponent's attacks, which can be enhanced, and again this is via the Tenso Juren gauge, which is a unique mechanic to Hitsugaya's character. So I do have a stat sheet for Hitsugaya, so we can see that the stat that he lacks the most in is his speed, as his mobility is really low, and then his technique, which are his special skills, as well as his toughness, which is his durability, are at equal mid-level range. But in terms of really excelling, Hitsugaya's power, so that's his attack and strength, as well as his reach, are quite high, and he's ranked overall 4 out of 5 in terms of ease of use. Now, usually I make these character gameplay videos in batches of 3, but Bandai ended up releasing 2 trailers today. So we had the Ulquiorra one that I've spoken about, but they also released a individual character trailer for Ichigo, but in his Bankai form. So it's been revealed that Ichigo has a separate Bankai character in addition to his Shikai character in the game. So the description is, Ichigo is a substitute Shinigami who is recognized by the Soul Society as capable of obliterating his enemies in a single powerful rush using his awakened powers. This is Ichigo Shikai here, and he immediately activates his Bankai Tensa Zangetsu. We cut straight into the action with his signature move, which of course is Getsuga Tensho. This is a long range attack which can boost its damage by holding down the input. Now you can see the amazing Reiatsu color here, the black Reiatsu with the red outline as he fires it towards his opponent, and again it's the speed of the attack which is amazing. And then spiritual pressure move 2 is Getsuga Aura. Now when activated, a special gauge will be acquired and Ichigo enters a state with reinforced attacks. Now the gauge of Getsuga Aura decreases by using skills, so if Ichigo receives damage and if he utilizes special abilities, his Getsuga Aura gauge will be decreased. So you can see that he powers up his Reiatsu and he rush attacks Ulquiorra here, and now this leads to Ichigo's awakening, which is his Hollow Mask form. Ichigo activates his holification, increasing overall performance. The amount of spiritual power acquired slightly increases here, allowing Ichigo to make the most of his spiritual pressure move. Now, it's not too often that we see Ichigo playable in games wielding his Hollow Mask, so this is going to be really exciting to have a look at. His awakening in his Bankai form is his holification, and you can see how this is captured, how his holification works in the manga as he's darting around the screen. It's just unbelievable the way he's playing. And now, Ichigo in this form does have a reawakening, which is his full holification or his Vastolore form. Now this is intense. In this reawakening form, we see a cutscene here which is taken right out of the manga, with Ulquiorra being crushed under Vastolore Ichigo's feet as a Zero is being charged and fired at him at point blank range. This just looks so incredibly powerful and overwhelming. They do make sure not to show us too much as we cut to the end of the character trailer, and Ichigo Kurosaki in his Bankai form is described as being diverse with stable action with wild high-powered attacks while in full holification. Now it's going to be very exciting to play as Vastolore Ichigo, and I'm honestly taken by surprise. I did not expect them to reveal Ichigo as a separate Bankai character. I thought maybe that Shikai Ichigo character trailer we saw may have elements of Vastolore attached to it, but I'm really glad that they've gone this approach of having Bankai Ichigo as a separate character, as now we can really utilize his holification abilities. And this leads me to believe that if future iterations of Ichigo's character are included, then we're going to see Ichigo with his Fullbring powers, along with a final form of Ichigo like he appears within the 1000-year Blood War arc when he's activated his Quincy, Hollow and Shinigami powers all into one, where he's wielding the dual-bladed Zangetsu. That's going to be really cool to look forward to, but as for now, we've just had so many character trailers over the past few weeks, and I've really enjoyed diving into the characters of Kenpachi, Ulquiorra, Hitsugaya, and lastly Bankai Ichigo. Among all of the characters that I've spoken about today, which one was your favorite? As we're getting more and more footage from this game, it's getting harder for me to pick a favorite. I just really want to play as every single character. I'm super excited for Rebirth of Souls. I'm looking forward to seeing what else Bandai has in store for us, as the marketing push is getting really intense with Core 3 around the corner. They really are building up all of the Bleach hype by showcasing to us Ulquiorra even before showing us Grimmjow. So yeah, do continue the discussion in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about Segunda Etapa Kappa, about Vasta Lore Ichigo, then of course Kenpachi, as well as Hitsugaya's character trailers. Lastly, thanks for making it to the end of yet another news and updates video, and I cannot wait to see you in my next Bleach Rebirth of Souls video. A massive thank you goes out to all of my amazing Patreon supporters for helping to make this video possible. If you also want to support the channel and see your name in the end of my videos, then check out my Patreon, which has loads of perks like early video access and so much more. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.